Welcome to Tony Teaching Tips. Today's topic is Fink's significant learning experiences. I'm Tony Sindelar, a higher education instructional designer with many years of experience partnering with faculty and subject matter experts to create and improve teaching and learning. Today, I want to talk about another useful framework I think any educator can benefit from, Fink's Taxonomy of Significant Learning Experiences. Fink's taxonomy is a relatively modern framework that defines 6 learning experiences that will be significant in terms of having a transformative impact on the learner. The 6 categories Fink defines are foundational knowledge, understanding and remembering information and ideas, application of skills, critical thinking, creative thinking, practical thinking, and managing projects, integration, connecting information, ideas, perspectives, people, or realms of life, and then moving around the circle, human dimension, learning about oneself and others, caring, developing new feelings, interests, and values, and then finally, learning how to learn, becoming a better student, inquiring about a subject, becoming a self-directed learner. Now, these categories are not hierarchical, but the idea is that in order for an educational experience you're designing to be truly transformative, you want to encompass as many of these 6 categories as possible. I think that this model is particularly interesting because it unites the traditional cognitive ideas around learning, you see on the right side of the diagram, with more emotional and affective aspects of being a learner, as represented on the left-hand side of the diagram. Usually, if you're an expert in a given content area and you've already been working hard on coming up with what your learning objectives are and what your plans for your teaching are, it's possible that you've leaned heavily on that right side of that diagram. The right side of the diagram has a lot in common with Bloom's taxonomy, for example. And it might be important now as you think about a course that you're designing or a course that you've taught before that you're reworking to think about what you are and are not doing to incorporate things from that left side of the diagram. Where do you create room for students to develop new interests and values, to engage in metacognition, and to learn about themselves and each other? These are all critical elements of having a transformative learning experience that are going to be helpful for your students to engage with that topic, find out who they are, apply the information that you're giving them in new contexts, and ultimately be transformed by the course or training or whatever teaching experience it is that you're preparing. Wherever you're working with students, you want to be touching on these things. You might take this moment to think back about some of the educational experiences that were the most transformative for you, whether that was in a K-12 undergraduate, graduate, or even workplace or other kinds of situation. And my guess is that a lot of the experiences that are particularly memorable in your mind as being transformative did not just hit those cognitive aspects on the right side of the diagram, but also included those left-hand side diagrams, the human elements of teaching and learning. So, according to Fink, it only takes one of these categories to be present for significant learning to happen, but the more categories present, the potentially higher impact of the learning, the more potential there is for it to be a truly transformative learning experience. So whatever you're working on, whether it's a brand new course or a course you're redesigning, think about how those 6 categories are represented and where you could do more to strengthen their presence in your teaching. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.